I'm Robin Murdoch, live outside Detroit Police Headquarters, where we are expected to get an update at some point today concerning the stabbing death of the president of a Detroit synagogue. This as hundreds gather to remember the life of Samantha Wohl. We've got the very latest on that in my live reports.
The ripple effects continue when it comes to the UAW strike against the Big Three. Coming up in my report, who this impacts and where the negotiations stand this morning.
President Biden consults with a number of world leaders about the crisis in Israel. Could the U.S. be drawn into the conflict? I'm Doug Lusader in Washington. We'll have more on what the administration is saying coming up.
Well, lots happening. Good morning. Thanks for being with us on this Monday. I'm Amy Lange.
I'm Brandon Hudson.
That's right. So breaking news, as you just heard, thousands of auto workers walking off the job at the Sterling Heights assembly plant. Now the UAW expanding the strike this morning to include 6,800 workers at the Stellantis facility. UAW President Shawn Fain there shaking hands, greeting the picketers as they walk out of the plant. The strike is having a huge ripple effect. This morning, Ford told more than 360 employees in Ohio and Michigan not to report for work today. Fox News' Erica Francis with the latest.
We are now approaching 40 days when it comes to this strike. We are standing outside of the Ford assembly plant here in Wayne, where you can see those picketing workers, and these guys and gals have been here since the beginning. UAW considering a number of offers from the automakers, but still no deal, and it's having a lot of ripple effects. This latest round of layoffs includes workers at a transmission plant near Cincinnati, along with a handful of workers at the components plant in Ypsilanti. These layoffs, of course, a consequence of this ongoing strike. The Big Three all offering raises of more than 20% now, putting auto workers well above the median income rate in the United States. So what's the holdup? That's what a lot of people are asking. Why not sign a deal right now? Well, we asked one industry insider what they're waiting for. Listen.
There's no question that the money is there to pay them a whole lot better than they have been paid. It is true that they gave up things, but there's no question that over the last couple of decades, their incomes have flatlined when you inflation adjust it. And meanwhile, management has made out spectacularly well. So as I've argued all along, it is time to pay these workers a whole lot more. But I think they've got that in the contract right now. That's why I'd like to see them wrap it up.
Another issue here, strike pay. Striking workers are only making $500 per week, and that's before taxes. Some believe UAW President Shawn Fain should do the same and accept a pay cut and live on the same $500 per week that he's asking his members to accept. We took that scenario to the UAW, who wrote back, quote, as UAW president, Fain will be paid the salary that UAW members vote on and set in the Constitution, which, by the way, is less than 1% of that of his counterparts at the Big Three, end quote. Now, obviously, this is a very fluid situation as we approach 40 days with this strike. Still no deal has been set. If you want to learn more information about what's going on with this strike, we have a number of articles posted for you on our website. That's fox2detroit.com. We're in Wayne. Erica Francis for Fox 2 News.
And I just got an update from Anderson Economic Group, the consulting firm that has been following the stand-up strike and the losses. The losses are now upwards of $9.3 billion across the entire auto industry.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It is.
Hopefully they wrap it up soon.
And we'll have more on this on Fox 2 News at 5 o'clock.
Absolutely.
Now to another story from the big story from this weekend. Family and friends, they remember the life and legacy of Samantha Wohl, a prominent leader in the Detroit Jewish community who worked to improve Jewish-Muslim relations. She was laid to rest this weekend.
Investigators found Wohl stabbed to death outside her home this weekend. Police are now searching for her killer. Fox 2's Robin Murdoch is live with the very latest in the investigation. Robin, this certainly has had a lot of people very sad and also on edge.
Yeah, a lot of people very uneasy about this situation because there have been no arrests as of yet. I can tell you investigators are expected to give some sort of an update at some point today. Now, whether the chief of police will actually hold a news conference or whether he will issue some kind of a statement, that remains to be seen. That is still being worked out. I can tell you investigators say that this does not look like it was a hate crime. Still many people obviously in shock and saddened by this.
Samantha Wohl may have been the nicest person that I have ever met or will ever meet in my lifetime.
An emotional Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel sharing her memories of Samantha Wohl, her former campaign manager, at her funeral on Sunday, while State Senator Stephanie Chang shared this photo of the 40-year-old on social media, taken at a wedding the night before, in fact, just hours before she was discovered dead, describing her as positive, brilliant, beautiful.
When I came in contact with her, her smile was so great that you couldn't help not to smile when you were in her presence.
Wohl also served as the president of the Isaac Agreed Downtown Synagogue, helping to lead its recent fundraising campaign. On Saturday morning, someone repeatedly stabbed the beloved leader and activist who was found outside her home on Joliet Place in the Lafayette Park neighborhood close to downtown Detroit. A trail of blood leading up to it. 2 days later, still no arrests.
When the world was flooding around her, Sam took charge. She did not wait for God to make things right, even if she had faith that God would. Sam, what you accomplished in your short life, most don't accomplish in many lifetimes.
Family, friends, those who knew and loved Wohl at Sunday's service said she was more than just kind, but capable, accomplished, and really committed to uniting people of all races and all religions. Investigators say her murder does not appear to be a hate crime and are now asking for the public's patience as they put together a timeline and try to pinpoint who took her precious life and why. The sadness, far-reaching.
A light has gone out in Detroit, in our hearts, for our people, for the world.
Now, the chief of police in a statement over the weekend said everything that can be done is being done to get closure in this matter. And as you know, they are getting help, but with the Michigan State Police as well as the FBI. Again, we are expected to get an update from investigators at some point today. So, of course, stay with us right here at Fox 2 News for the very latest on air as well as online. For now, we are live outside Detroit Police Headquarters. I'm Robin Murdoch for Fox 2 News.
Between Israel and Hamas escalating, the U.S. government is stepping up its warnings to Americans abroad.
Yeah, the Biden administration is also talking about the possibility of a U.S. military response. Fox's Douglas Zader has the story from Washington.
Congress at this point has been relatively supportive of the president, but there are limits, and there remains the possibility that the U.S. military could be drawn into the conflict. More explosions in Gaza, with Israeli forces still saying a ground invasion could happen at any time. The Pentagon has been moving around U.S. forces in the region, preparing for the possibility of being drawn into the fight.
If that happens, we're ready for it. U.S.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken made it clear that the U.S. is not looking to intervene militarily, but Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin had a warning for those who target U.S. forces.
We're going to do what's necessary to make sure that our troops are in the right, good position, they're protected, and that we have the ability to respond.
President Biden spent some time on the beach in Delaware yesterday, but aides say he spoke on the phone this weekend with a number of world leaders, including the Pope and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. At U.S. urging, dozens of trucks carrying food and medical supplies entered Gaza. A U.S. Senate delegation traveled to Israel, meeting Israeli victims of the October 7th Hamas attack.
Parents having to watch their children be burned to death. Women having to be raped. Kids decapitated. It's disgusting, it's despicable, and it is pure evil.
But Congress is still at a standstill on Israel without a House Speaker. Republicans are meeting today to consider a new slate of 9 candidates. In Washington, Doug Zader, Fox News.
Michigan State is on the defensive after a terrible blunder during the MSU-U of M game.
Well, you kind of go, how does this happen? Well, here's what they're saying. An athletic department employee has now been suspended after an image of Adolf Hitler appeared on the scoreboard before Saturday's football game against U of M. The picture was part of a trivia game that fans in attendance could follow along with. The university says the contest was sourced from a third party that will no longer be used for future events. The employee allegedly failed to watch the entire video, resulting in the image going unnoticed during the screening process.
The school's interim president released a statement saying, in part, quote, "I am deeply sorry for the image displayed at Spartan Stadium, which made many of our community feel alienated and unsafe. It was unacceptable. I will work with our Jewish community and every member of minoritized populations to ensure Spartans feel this is a place where everyone can live, work, go to class, and attend events that are welcoming," end quote.